Now you're tip your driver, please.
Hey, it's Faisal at DXC, and we're outside the beautiful Biltmore, Astoria. Is that it? And we're doing our version of carpool karaoke outside the conference center. With us today is Dan from LSQ and Phil, also from DXC. So, Dan, what are we talking about?
Sure. Well, I can talk a little about why we're here.
Yeah, sure.
We came to explore how our product could help, serve insurance companies. What we do is allow insurance companies who are working with law firms to improve their liquidity and drive cost savings. And I think one of the things I've discovered throughout this conference is this is a problem that exists beyond just the interaction of insurance companies with law firms. It's, claims in property and casualty. There's applicability well beyond the insurance industry. So we're excited to sort of broaden out our relationship with DXC.
Phil, I see this as an extension of some of the work we're doing with engaging with external partners, and this is really a significant time for us. Can you talk about some of the other things and what we're doing with LSQ?
Sure. To do that, we have to touch on our invitational and how we're viewing insurtechs and fintechs in general. And as Dan, you're pointing out, it's really not industry specific. We talk insurtech, but our definition of that changes almost daily as we start looking at things from companies like MapSite, which is location-based data, and then yourselves. How do you see the interconnections of the insurance and your perspective on connecting to other industries?
Sure.
We see insurance as likely to be the largest consumer of IoT data at some point in time, right? They need it for their underwriting, for their pricing, and all the other components. So your ability to cross industry, to do those kinds of connections, how do you see that interplay here? And where do you see LSQ going with that?
Yeah, so at the heart of the problem we solve is companies pay one another very slowly. And if you're a large company, you can take advantage of your leverage and effectively squeeze your smaller vendors. So what that does is effectively shrinks the population of vendors you're willing to work with. Right. You can only work with sort of a large subsegment that has the liquidity to manage a slow payment cycle. That problem exists in automotive and manufacturing and healthcare. Larger companies are continuing to put more and more pressure on smaller vendors. What our product enables larger companies in the insurance industry and others to do is continue to pay slowly, so not drastically change or alter their liquidity, and work with a broader range of smaller vendors. So we sit in between and help those smaller vendors by paying them quicker.
Wow.
And we are also managing to drive better unit economics for the insurance industry or for the automotive industry. All those industries are struggling with margins. All those industries are trying to drive better unit economics. So our product allows them to both work with a broader range of vendors and drive better unit economics. And for the smaller vendors, it allows them to get paid quicker and not have cash flow problems.
That's really interesting because really from an innovation perspective, that is the kind of problem we're trying to solve as well. In reality, our customers are more comfortable working with larger service providers, and they don't always have the reach to get to the innovation that is available, that is proliferating right. with smaller companies. And what we're doing with the DXC Invitational that the fellow is talking about is really expanding that reach. And I see a strong parallel here. It's essentially the long tail for innovation, but also in this case for how you can work with vendors.
Well, and regardless of the industry you're in, you're trying to keep your supplier base happy.
Yes.
And that sometimes runs counter to other strategic goals, and you can't necessarily have both. And we've tried to create a product that allows you to do both, to keep your suppliers happy, but also meet your goals from both a financial and balance sheet standpoint.
So this is day 2 of the insurance conference. We have another exciting day tomorrow, and Thursday we announce the winners of our DXC Invitational on the live main stage event. This has been our interesting way of helping to promote some of that and giving some needed airtime to our partners as well. We look forward to doing more of these, and hey, thanks for doing this.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, well, thank you. And then on cue, we have a big semi coming, so it's a good time. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks, Dan.